Has there ever been a modern-day DMB show that hasn't played any songs released in the past 20 years? No, but there have been some close ones, such as in Mansfield, Massachusetts on June 12, 2026. Welcome to DMB Concerts Reviewed, the series in which I review various Dave Matthews Band shows, whether it be a live release or if I physically attended. This inaugural episode will focus on the above show, my most recent show that I've attended as of making this video. First, I will go over some basics on how this works. I'm gonna assume that you are a DMB fan if you're watching this, and if not, there's gonna be some Long Island Railroad Scoop content coming soon for you real fans. Anyways, this video will be divided into 4 sections: the setlist, musicianship, venue/accessibility, and final rating. I will explain more as we reach each segment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into Section 1, the set list. This was my 3rd DMB concert, and second of the year after the show in Forest Hills 2 days prior. Some songs I was hoping to hear were Rhyme and Reason, Crush, and a 2-step encore closer, just to name a few. The time finally came, and the band walked on stage. Everyone got settled quickly, and they started the opener, Pantala Naga Pampa, or P&P as I will refer to it for now on. Now, if you know anything about P&P in recent years, you know that you can never predict what's going to be played after it. It could be Pig, but they played that in the last concert, or it could be Minarets to spice it up, or it could be Rapunzel? Oh, so they're keeping it classic? Perfectly fine by me. P&P into Rapunzel makes a great opener, but what's next? Following that opening came What Would You Say, another classic, followed by Rhyme and Reason. That was amazing, and I was hoping for it too. Seems like they're keeping it classic, but what's next? Granny? Are you serious? I think the crowd was catching on how interesting that these were all old hits. Energy was high after those 5, and we needed something to take it down a notch. Old Dirt Hill would be perfect. Nice and chill. Okay, what's next? You have to be kidding, Jimmy Thing? Absolutely amazing. Not even a break after Jimmy, and they go straight into Walk Around the Moon, which is, in fact, the first song from any album released in the past 20 years. Crazy. After that, we have Funny the Way It Is, yet another amazing song to hear. Then comes Seek Up, a mellow but long jam song. We follow that up with When the World Ends, one of my top 3 songs from every day. Then comes Crush, and yes! The band is on fire tonight. Time to bring it back down a notch with Black and Bluebird, a nice and reasonable chill song after Crush's electric ending. Cover time, and it's a Bowie song, Let's Dance. Then comes Stay or Leave, another perfectly fine older song. We begin to end with You Might Die Trying, a great song to hear live. Then comes The Space Between, another top 3 song from every day. Come on, Dave, liberate Angel already, it's been 23 years. And finally, we have the main set closer, Tripping Billies. Such an amazing song, though I've heard it live before. After a short break, Dave alone comes back out for the encore, with Peace on Earth and its great message being the Dave solo of the night. Then finally, the encore closer. Though I was hoping for 2-step still, they haven't played it in the entire tour so far. Too Much was a perfectly good closer. It was sure as heck way better than what Forest Hills had. Now for my setlist rating. While I know it was tons of radio hits, this felt straight out of the good old days from the Central Park concert era, with some modern stuff occasionally mixed in beautifully. Overall, I give it a 9 out of 10 set list. I would have preferred Too Much and Tripping Billy switched as closer for their parts, and 2-step too, but still amazing. But that's just the names. Now we need to look at Section 2, the musicianship. This section will break down solos and generally how everyone played. P&P had a good vibe, and the Rapunzel follow-up had a great horn duet at the end. What Would You Say featured Buddy doing some interludes and Jeff busting out the flute partway through. Rhyme and Reason had Tim's first solo of the night, and the horns boosted it at the end. Granny had the entire crowd singing along through the second half jam. Jeff did a couple of mini solos on Old Dirt Hill to follow that up. Jimmy Thing has just so much to say about it. See what I did there? Tim and Buddy's call and response was amazing. Jeff and Rashawn alternated for the climax, and nothing beats Carter's drag triplets in between. The band rocked through Walk Around the Moon, and Jeff got into flute once again. Funny the Way It Is had its standard solos, one improv by Buddy and one written by Tim. The horns did even more trading to open up Seek Up, and Buddy followed by Tim closed it out. There's not much to say on When the World Ends other than everyone played it well. Stefan's opening to Crush was hauntingly good to hear live. Carter threw in a nice touch with the woodblocks for the icing on the cake. Tim did his classic mid-chorus solo, which was amazing as always. Rashawn's solo is one of his best of all time, and Tim came back for the swing section. The horn flares at the end are some of my favorites in the band's catalog, and Carter closed it out with another amazing solo. Buddy had a quick solo in Black and Bluebird, and Tim did some stuff at the end of Let's Dance. Stay or Leave and The Space Between don't really have any solos, but the band played both amazingly. In between those last two was You Might Die Trying, with some horn interludes and a Jeff solo followed by Tim once more. Buddy took on Tripping Billy's solo section with the horn flares bonus added on. Dave played Peace on Earth amazingly by himself, and they all greatly played the Too Much Closer to finish it up. Overall, I would give it another 9 out of 10 for musicianship, my only critique being that Rhyme and Reason and Jeezing dragged just a bit in the middle for both. Finally, we move on to Section 3, Venue and Accessibility. These two categories are combined because there is not much to say about them as much as the actual performance. Xfinity Center is a pretty good amphitheater. I would say, though the parking system and bathrooms need some work, it is overall better than the average, mostly due to the giant fans for the covered seats to keep the heat down, which was a blessing for how hot it was that day. As for accessibility, this refers to how easy it is to listen to the concert after the show. Luckily for everyone there, this show was taped for SiriusXM's DMB channel, and thus you can listen back to it so long as you have the app and a subscription. I give a total score of 8 out of 10 for this section, each subsection getting 4 out of 5 respectively. Now, that means we can finally do Section 4, Final Rating. For each show I rank, it'll be placed on a tier list based on its overall score. There are 6 tiers, each with a 5-point range. For example, A tier is a score of 21 to 25, while B tier is a score of 16 to 20. The total score of the show is 26 out of 30, putting it in S tier. Because this is the first episode, there is no other shows to compare this show with yet. With that, this marks the end of this episode. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Comment down below what shows I should review in the future, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.